Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Okay, so today I want to slow it down a little bit because there is a real basic concept that is the concept of all concepts. It's literally what it is all about. And what that is absolute nothingness, the void. So the void is, not only is it where we come from, it's what we are. It's absolute nothingness, yet it's everything. It's the space by which we create. It's the very space that God was in before He created the light, before He created the earth, before He created anything. And from this space of nothingness is where you create. We were in this space, otherwise known as the Garden of Eden, before the serpent came along and tricked us to go into our frontal lobes, to go into our thinking left brain, to go into the tree of knowledge, the left brain, the thinking brain, which is the tip of the V, which means you get stuck. See, from this space of nothingness, you can create anything, or I should say anythingness. So what happens is you get caught up in this piece of work, this piece of art, this piece of music, painting, a brand new architecture, brand new bridge, whatever it is, brand new thought. The challenge is you were never supposed to stay caught up in it. You were supposed to create it and then let it go. And then completely let go and everything disappears again. And then you create another piece of work. It's very similar to when an artist has a blank piece of canvas and they paint something, they draw something, they make a new piece of artwork, and then they let it go. They sell it to the art gallery or to a person, a customer, and it's gone, and then they have another blank piece of canvas to start all over again. So the devil is not allowed to touch your canvas. But he can lie to you, he can trick you, he can manipulate you, he can give you false beliefs, stuff like that. But he can't touch you, he can't touch your canvas. Only you can. Now, the only reason why you got caught up in anything, from whether it was a person, a friend, the devil, is because you went to the tip of the V. You got caught up in the creation instead of letting it go. This is the whole thou shalt not want, because wanting is not having. You have to imagine having it. If you imagine wanting, then you don't have it. Wanting is when there's something that you don't have. So let's say it's over there at the store, like a brand new bicycle or a new gift that you want. Well, you want it, which means you don't have it. So the moment you begin to imagine having it is when the process begins to create, and all of a sudden magically it'll show up in your hands, at your front door, etc. So when Jesus said, "Get behind thee, Satan," it's the same thing that I'm alluding to right now, and I'm trying to find different ways for you to finally understand. Now, if you were in person with me, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it would be done. So in the video that came out Saturday about looking out to the horizon, how men, like they have two laser beams from left eye to right eye that look out to a point. Well, that's what Jesus says is the devil. Get behind thee is when you take that V and turn it around to where instead of it going to a point looking out, the two ends open up from the point. One goes far to the left, one goes far to the right. It's like you're in peripheral vision. And now you receive The people that don't receive are the people that have that closed point. Their pupils are small. They are physically pulled together slightly because they're aiming at a point, like they're looking down a tube at a target, like the bullseye. That's looking out to a point. That's when Jesus said, get behind thee, Satan. You want the point to be behind your head. So now the open funnel is wide open in front of you, so you can receive like stuff coming into a funnel inside you. Again, I could explain this much easier in person and show you how to use it. So this is one of the things when I'd go to all these energy healing courses and classes and spiritual things, and they say, oh, you just got to open up to receive. And after about 5 years of hearing this, reading it in books, not a single person, not a single course, not a single one, not one person said, oh, here's how you do it. So I got so pissed off at this lady that said this to me. I literally kind of, not too loud, but I yelled it out. She goes, oh, Michael, you just got to open up to receive. And I said, how? And she goes, well, you just open up. Well, there was no steps. There was no instructions. And I looked at her. I go, I'm done. And I never came back. So these internal awareness techniques, such as the one I just talked about when Jesus says, get behind thee, Satan, you open the funnel instead of it being a tip going out. See, the male brain is closed. It wants to look out at a point out there on the horizon. When a woman looks at a horizon or a beautiful view, a wide, expansive view, she opens up wide, all the way left, all the way right. We'll call this peripheral vision. And it's like opening up a funnel, and now you can receive the image. So now the horizon, the ocean, the beautiful view comes to her and goes down inside her. And women will say, oh, this view is so beautiful, it just fills me up inside with these wonderful emotions. And men look at women like, fills you up inside with what? Emotions? What are you talking about? Like, they don't get it because they're closed. This could be anyone who's in their left brain. So over the last few minutes, I literally just explained in depth, well, how do you open up and how do you go inside? So the one piece I left out is you imagine the image, or you're opening up and allowing the image to come to you instead of looking out to it. And what you do is you allow it to come, you open wide open, it comes to you, and then you drop your awareness down inside your body in an open and expansive way. I don't want you to look at a little pinpoint inside your belly button, the size of a pin. No, expand it to your entire chest, heart, solar plexus, and belly area, and drop your awareness down inside. This is how you open up and receive. This is just one of the techniques that I teach. So what do narcissists do? They get you to do the complete opposite. They have you going pinpoint, very focused, very narrow vision, which makes your brain very narrow to pinpoint, and you have very, very little access of your intelligence, knowledge, or memories, or information. So this is what Jesus meant right here when he said, get behind thee, Satan. You want this tip to be behind your head, or drop the tip down inside your body, all the way down just past your groin. And then the other two lines, left and right, are open wide open, either up or out in front of you. And now it's an open funnel where now you can receive. So when Jesus says, get behind thee, Satan, he meant the tip. So this tip was at the other end, and he's saying, spin it around. Here, actually, let me show you. So this is how, I forget who he said it to, Paul or Jacob. He said, get behind these, Satan. So when he said, oh, Jesus, I will never let them hurt you. When Jesus announced, like, hey, they're going to beat me, they're going to hurt me, they're going to kill me. So this is, he was coming from his ego. This is when your pupils are small and coming together at a point, like you're aiming at a target. And Jesus says, get behind thee, Satan. Because when you're in this perspective, it shoves you down into your low reptilian brain, which is the fight or flight, kill or be killed brain. It's your ego. So Jesus means literally to flip this to where this tip is either behind you or down inside you. Now again, there's in person, I can teach this to you. So if you guys want to fly into California to take a course with a group, let me know and I'll set it up. In fact, right now is a really good time, the next couple weeks. Now there's a reason why I'm making this video, is because I worked with someone recently who was very much caught up in the point, in the tip, and they felt trapped, and they talked fast, and they talked fast, and they talked fast, and on and on and on. I was like, oh my God. So it puts you in a panic attack. So when you're in the tip, you freak out because every little detail seems massive. It's like looking under a microscope at a freaking molecule, like, oh my God, it's huge. It's like 90% of what I'm looking at. It's like, yeah, but you're looking at a molecule. It's now pull back from the microscope. Yep, as we're going up in the V here, and pull all the way back and pull your head away from the microscope, and then stand up and oh, it's nothing. It's equivalent to having a little tiny dirt on your brand new carpet. I mean, a little tiny spot, like the size of the head of a pin, or maybe a little bit bigger. And you get on your hands and knees and you put your head all the way down to the floor, and your eyeball is literally 2 centimeters or millimeters from this little tiny speck of dirt. And you're like, oh my God, the whole carpet is dirty. It's brand new. And you freak out because from that perspective, it looks like it's like 90% of the carpet, when it's like a little tiny millimeter. It's tiny. So when you go through narcissist abuse, they shove you to the tip. And what I'm teaching you over and over in different ways, from breathing techniques to grounding techniques to what I just taught you early in the video, is to get you to this end of the V, to where you're wide open. Because out here, you're free to come and go as you please. On the other end, it's so finite. It's literally like you're trapped in a little tiny fucking prison, a little tiny jail cell that's like 6 foot by 6 foot by 6 foot, and you feel trapped. And it makes you feel stuck. When you feel frustrated and angry and stuck, where do you think you are on that tip? I'm sorry, I just gave it away. Where do you think you are on that V? Yep, you're at the tip. And you're trying to shove through that little tiny part of the tip, but you can't because it's closed. What you got to do is turn around and walk the other way, and it's wide open. You're free to go at any moment in time. You always have been. It's always been an illusion. Many years ago when I had anxiety and I was doing a lot of healing work, energy healing, going to an energy healing, meditating, one day I walked out on my porch and I opened the sliding glass door and I walked out on the porch, put my arms on the balcony thing, the wood, whatever you call it, and I just looked out through the trees. I've got a bunch of trees where I live, and you can kind of see the street and downtown a little bit, and I'm like, it's completely quiet. Nobody's yelling. Nobody's screaming. Nobody's begging for help. Like, nothing's going on. It was all in my head. It was an illusion. That was a huge step to realizing my anxiety wasn't real. And it allowed me to open up. Now, shifting gears into the second part. In our lower reptilian brain, there is a program, a system called the reticulating activating system. Now, instead of explaining it to you like they did in psychology class, because it made no sense to me, it's like, okay, big word. And we had to read a whole chapter on what it is, what it does, and like, okay. I mean, I passed the test, I got an A on the test. I had no clue what it was. So, I'm going to give you an exercise so you can have a physical experience of how it works, and then you'll understand it. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes, okay? Okay, take a deep breath and relax. Okay, so keep your eyes closed, okay? And I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to give you about 3 or 4, let's say 4 seconds, okay? I'm going to have you do something. I'm going to tell you what to do, and then I'm going to do it. Or then I'm going to say, do this thing, okay? So hold on. Before you do it, I'm going to tell you what to do, and then I'll say go. Alright, I'm going to give you 4 seconds. What I want you to do is look all the way around the room and look for everything that has the color brown. Ready, go. Open your eyes and look around. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. Look around for brown. Look around for brown. 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. Close your eyes. Stop. Close your eyes, and come back to here. Close your eyes. Okay, now this next part, you have to keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed, okay? Keep them closed. Now what I want you to do with your eyes closed, I want you to remember everything that was green. Ah, not so easy, is it? Because I told you to look for a different color, brown. If you've ever wondered why some people are rich, it's because they're looking for it. They're looking for money. They're thinking about money. They're talking about money. And therefore they get money. They see money when... Okay, I'm going to give you a really good example. So let's say there's one or two homeless people standing outside of Walgreens. And they're out. Now they're asking people for, hey, can I have $5? Can I have $10? And I'm looking right in front of him like, dude, there's like 3 quarters right there. And I grab him, swoop him up. He goes, oh man, I didn't even notice that. Another day I walked in the store and the same guy was out there and there was $2 bills and I saw them and he's sitting right next to it. It's kind of to the left, but out in front. He could see it out of his peripheral vision. And I say, hey, what's up, man? He goes, oh, not much. And it's right there. I go in the store. I'm there for maybe 7 or 8 minutes. I come back out. The money's still there. He says, hey, man, can I have $1? And I said, yeah, sure. I reached down, grabbed the $2 and I handed him $1. He's like, damn, I didn't even see that. How long has it been there? I'm like, probably about more than 10 minutes because that's how long I've been here. I said, you're just not looking for money. One of the ways I really found this out was there was some kind of hypnotic tape or something like that about years ago, and it was about, money, etc. And I remember all of a sudden I saw money everywhere. I saw quarters, nickels, dimes, dollars, $5. Not only that, but part of this recording was to allow yourself to receive money. Oh, I remember. It was a little book that was recommended. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Okay, so I believe it. Now, it's been a long time. I got a lot of little books like this. So this one is called Money is My Friend by Phil Laut. P-H-I-L-L-A-U-T. Money is My Friend. Phil Laut. L-A-U-T. Now, I'm using this as an example because this is a universal example. I'm trying to show you what some of you are doing while you're in that absolute fear and terror of narcissist. It is an illusion. It's something that, I don't want to give it away. Hold on. So what happens is, one thing I read in there, and it says most of you are not open to receiving. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. It was pissing me off because I kept hearing that. And he goes, no. He goes, when people offer you money, you literally say, no, thank you, that's okay. You literally put your hands out and you stop it and you verbally say, no, thank you, I didn't earn it or whatever. He goes, you're not allowing yourself to receive the money that the universe or God is trying to give you. He said, you're the one that's doing it. And at first, like, oh, that's bullshit. Come on, man. Like who would say no to money? So he gave an exercise on how to learn to start receiving money. See, what a lot of you are doing is you're doing the exercise of receiving narcissist abuse. And I'm not kidding. It got hooked up into your reticulating activating system. This is why I'm showing you, hey, you got to get to the other part of this V, the open side, to where you can walk away and be free. So here's the exercise on how to begin to receive money, simply not necessarily by doing some magical thing, but by just opening up and allowing yourself to receive money. See, the limitations that you have are the limitations that are in your brain, and all we have to do is switch these around. I'm telling you, it's like Jesus said, get behind thee, Satan. You're at the frickin' tip and you're going, I can't get out, I'm frustrated, where can I achieve my goals? Because you're going the wrong way. Turn around. It's the exact same thing with anxiety, panic attack, frustration, anger. It's the same tip. So here's what he said. Again, it may not have been this book, but I'm 90% sure it was. He said, pick up any money that you see. He goes, even if it's a dirty penny, a nickel, a dime, a quarter, it doesn't matter, a dirty dollar. You need to teach your unconscious mind to receive money. Most of you say, nah, I'm not going to pick up 50 cents. I mean, I'm above that, and yet you're struggling financially. So he literally said, he goes, one time, I think he said there was like a $5 bill or $20 bill. It might have even been a $1 bill. And he goes, I had on this really expensive brand new suit, and I reached down to grab it, and I slipped, and I got my suit. I think I got it wet or got it dirty or muddy or something like that. And someone looked at him like, why are you reaching down for a freaking dollar bill? He goes, you're worth millions. And he essentially said, how do you think I got this rich? It was this one exercise that turned him around financially from the very beginning. Now, when I first read this book, I didn't believe it and I didn't do it. And so what happened was somebody offered me money for work that I did, and they wanted to pay me $600 for it. I'm thinking I was going to get paid like $60 or $100, not even, maybe $80. And this person goes, here you go, man. I just wanted to pay you for helping me out. And he gave me $600. I was like, what? And I literally, my hands, both open palms, shoved out and literally pushed his hands away from me at arm's length. And I said, whoa, you can't give me that much. And he looks, he goes, why? And he goes, so then how much do you want? And I said, I don't know, $100. He goes, $100? He goes, you worked for 6 hours. And then he grabbed $400. He goes, here, take at least $400. Now, when I walked back to my car, because he was so shocked at my being shocked, he looked at me like, what are you talking about? And so it made my brain kind of think like, well, why did that guy think I was worth $600? And then I remembered the book, and then I went, holy shit, I'm literally pushing money away. The only reason why I got the $400 was because he demanded it. Now, I talked to him about a month later, and he said, Michael, when I hire professionals to do this, they charge me about $600 for the same job that you did. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, that's why I wanted to pay you, because that's the standard going rate for that. And I was like, oh. There was another time, very shortly after that, I was at a restaurant, and the owner came up and he says, hey, the meal's on me. Now, I had invited my goddaughter with me, and we had ordered not a lot of stuff, but a fair amount each. And I'm like, well, no, we ordered all this food. I have to pay for it. He goes, no. He goes, it's totally on me. I go, well, why? He goes, I just want to, be nice and give you a gift and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, how much? I go, I tell you what, then I'll just tip the waitress half the amount. He goes, no. He goes, I've already tipped the waitress for you. I've given her $20. I was like, why? He goes, I'm just trying to be nice. And my goddaughter said, after he walked away, he goes, why don't you just accept his gift? Now, my brain was kind of pondering in the back, processing this, and we're just talking about dumb stuff, but I'm in the back of my head thinking about this, because that and the guy trying to give me money. There was another time someone wanted to pay me more money than what we agreed upon, because he said, hey, you did a really good job, etc., etc. And I'm like, I do push money away. Now, while my goddaughter was talking, I was in the back of my head going, just like all these memories were popping up, like, wow. Like, I became very conscious, like, wow, I've pushed money away my whole life. I'm not saying I was conscious of it. It was unconscious. So I was reflecting back on this book and how he said, look, every time you see money, pick it up. Even if it's a frickin' penny, pick it up. You're teaching your unconscious mind to receive. So as we're walking out the door in the waiting area, I was going to call it the lobby, in the waiting area, there was a freaking quarter on the ground, and I reached down and I grabbed it. My goddaughter's like, what are you doing? I was like, I was grabbing some money. She just kind of rolled her eyes like, whatever. And I thought, why not? Why not just start grabbing money? I mean, if it's there, just grab it. And all of a sudden, clients would call, and I would say the right things at the right time. I'd hang up, and they would say, yeah, I want to sign up. And I was like, wow, that was easy. God, that's weird. And then another person called for my ad, and I said the right thing in the right way, but I wasn't conscious of it yet. And they signed up too. And I thought, wow, this is weird. Like, I got 2 clients in 1 week. Like, that's weird. Normally, people are like, oh, I'll think about it. Let me think about it, and all that bullshit. And I thought, oh, it's because when someone would ask this question, I would normally say this, but this time I said that. Oh, that makes so much sense. It's all unconscious. I'd been conditioning my mind to pick up pennies, nickels. I don't care if I was standing at the frickin' Walgreens cashier and there's 3 pennies on the ground. I was going to grab them. I don't care if the floor was dirty. You're teaching your mind to receive. Now, the exercise where I had you look for brown and then I said, and with your eyes closed, notice what was blue. Or maybe I said green. I forget. Yeah, I think it was green. And you're probably like, oh shit, I don't know. I mean, because your brain is focused on the brown. So when I first did that exercise, I was like, I didn't see any green. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Oh, sorry. And then open your eyes and look around the room, and like, oh shit, there's a light green in the picture of the ocean. There's green on the tree in the picture. There's green on the books. There's green over here. Oh hell, I got green painted on my freaking wall right there. Like I didn't see it before. That's how the reticulating activating system works. So a lot of people say, oh, it's all about positive thinking. No, it's not about positive thinking. It's about conditioning. Meaning making those shifts on the unconscious level. Because everything, 90+% of what you do is unconscious. This is why I keep saying, and this is not a... See, if you guys are, oh, that's a real positive thing. That's not what I'm saying. And here's what it is. You get what you focus on, so focus on what you want. See, a lot of people, in fact, this just happened this week. Somebody called me up and I said, okay, what's going on? So I go, well, I've got anxiety, I've got fear, and I've got this. I've been dealing with narcissism, spinning in circles. I'm like, oh my God, shit. And I kept saying, what do you want? I don't want anxiety. I don't want to get attacked. I don't want. You get what you focus on, even if you don't want it. So before you call me and work with me, I want you to take a deep breath. Do not do any caffeine, okay? Just stop that. I want you to write down what it is that you want. So if you have anxiety and you're like, okay, I don't want that. Okay, fine. So now tell me what you do want. Well, I don't want to be in fear. I didn't say don't. I did not say don't. Because a lot of people that are so good at this, they just keep throwing out, well, I don't want to fail. I don't want to crash. I don't want to be in poverty. Well, that's what you're going to get. See, the unconscious mind can only see what you show it. If you say poverty, it goes, oh, I'm going to create poverty. If you say crash, oh, I'm going to create crash. If you say narcissist attack, it goes, oh, narcissist attack. It just sees what you say because it can't process a negative. Your unconscious mind receives images from your words. So if you say, I don't want, whatever comes after it is what it sees. Because as the information goes down into the unconscious mind, the negatives from I don't want, I'm not, I can't, I won't, that doesn't go down there. It's just whatever the image is. I would rather have you say, I don't want to be filthy rich. Because your unconscious mind goes, oh, okay, filthy rich. Here you go. Lots and lots of money. Because you don't want to be rich. All it hears is rich. Again, if you say I don't want to be poor, all it hears is poor. Whatever you put in front of it, whether it's a negative or positive, doesn't receive that. It just goes, oh, rich, poor, happy, sad, attack, not attack, which means attack. That's how it works. The reticulating activating system is at the tip. This is why you get what you focus on, so focus on what you want. If you focus on fear, well, you're going to get fear. If you focus on not being poverty, well, you're going to get poverty. It also works the same way around. Close your eyes, open up, look around the room, look for brown, brown, brown. Well, all you're going to see is brown. Close your eyes, okay. Now, what did you see that was green? Like, oh shit, I don't know. I wasn't looking for green. And therefore, you didn't get it. If you're not looking for money, guess what? You're going to reject it. You're not going to see it. It'll be right next to your frickin' foot for fucking 5 hours, and everyone else that walks by sees the money, but you don't. This is how it works. If you think what I'm teaching is positive thinking, be positive, that's not what I'm doing. Everything is a magnet. If you're in a state of fear and worried about narcissists, well, what are you focused on? You're focusing on narcissist. And guess what you're going to attract? Yep, that's right, narcissist. But what if you focus on health, confidence, speaking up for yourself, being comfortable, being completely emotionally grounded? Narcissists are not attracted to that at all. In fact, they're very, very repelled. People that are not emotionally grounded, people that are not confident or at least comfortable with themselves, they don't feel comfortable around people who do. It freaks them out. It weirds them out. And the reason why they yell and bark at you is because they're trying to make you be like them. Uncomfortable, nervous, and bouncy, and fidgety, and now they're like, oh, you're just like me. Hey, we can be bros. Lazy people do not like to be around people that take action. They do not like being around people that work hard. Because it reveals their laziness even more. And they can't stand it. I remember I was at this job doing carpet. I would work my ass off. And every time I got paired up with someone, like, hey man, just slow down. You don't got to work so hard. Finally, after about a year of hearing this from different people that I worked with, I was like, what the fuck does it matter? If we get the job done, we get to go home. And I just had this huge riff with all these different workers, and I couldn't figure it out until my buddy Greg, who's a sheetrocker, he said, well, the deal is, dude, you've always been a hard worker. These guys have always tried to skate by, and you're making them look bad in front of their boss, because the boss is now realizing, well, shit, why is the new guy, Mike, getting all this work done, and you got half the amount of work done? Something's not right here. And suddenly they get revealed, and I said, well, I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble. He goes, no, that's not the point. He goes, Mike, you're not trying to do anything. You're just trying to keep your job. He goes, but you're making them look bad. I go, but I'm not trying to. He goes, I know you're not trying to. He goes, but because of the fact that you're a hard worker, he goes, it shows the boss that these guys could be getting a lot more done. And it's the same thing with you just being a good person. See, all right, let's say you got a guy that's messed up on, speed, crank, crystal meth, and he's fidgety, but he barks and he yells at people because that's how he acts confident. But when people have to yell and scream, it means they're not confident. And so what they do is they go after people, they try to beat them down. Does that sound familiar? See, you're just someone who just wants to get along with people, meaning you're comfortable with yourself. Well, over the years, narcissists around you tried to make friends with people that were not comfortable with themselves. They were not confident. They weren't socially adept like you are. And so they yelled at you. They screamed at you until you got nervous. And what they did, they ungrounded you. And they made you nervous and submit to them, so to speak. And now they can feel comfortable again. In other words, they had to beat you down in order to feel good about themselves. That's how insecure they are. And that's why they did it. So here I was in a family of 7 kids, and I was winning state and national titles, straight A's, head of the choir, head of this, done this, did that, my entire life. And I didn't understand, why was everyone treating me like shit? Why was everyone yelling at me? Why was everyone telling me I was a bad person? Because I was a good person, because I worked hard, because I was achieving my goals. And they weren't, and they couldn't stand it. Losers can't stand to be around winners. Losers like to be around losers and then talk a big talk and act. Keyword, and action. It's fake. When they get around a real person, it shines a light on their fakeness. So let's say some guy's like trying to get this girl, and he's trying to be all cocky and cock of the block and cock of the walk, and he's acting all cool. It's an act. It's fake as fuck. And you come along and you don't act at all. All of a sudden there's contrast. All of a sudden everyone in the room can go, wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh my God, so-and-so's fake as fuck. But before that, so-and-so was using threats, intimidation, barking, growling, yelling at you, biting your head off to get you to just say, oh yeah, you're the confident one. And here comes someone that walks in the room, peaceful, calm, doesn't care if someone notices them, and doesn't care if someone looks at them or even sees them. And someone's like, wait, what's going on? Why isn't this guy acting like this guy? Because this person doesn't act. And then people start to realize, like, oh, so that's what confidence is. They see the difference. So when narcissists are biting your head off, they're essentially trying to get you either to submit, or more importantly, they're really trying to push you out of the group or push you out of their friendship. I mean, I can look back very recently at people that I thought I was friends with, and so they kept biting my head. I'm like, what's this person's fucking fault or problem? And I was like, oh, they're insecure. Oh, okay, I just won't come around anymore. And essentially, that's really what the narcissist wanted. So when people are biting empaths' heads off, what do? We try to prove to them that we're good people, that we want to be friends. And so instead of leaving, we actually dig deeper and dig our heels in and work harder to get them to like us. And what do? They just embarrass us. They treat us like shit. They bite our heads off. They hurt us. They damage us. It's just like pushing away money. So here you were, with your reticular activating system focused on making people like you. So when someone doesn't like you, like, oh, I got to make them like me. It's kind of like the opposite of grabbing money. It's like, what are you doing? You're grabbing shit. See, someone said to me, like, the world is dark and I'm surrounded by narcissists. Well, the world isn't, and they said, like, the majority of people are narcissists. No, the majority of people are not narcissists. The majority of people that you are attracting or pulling into your sphere may be narcissists, but not in the real world. Whenever you get shocked like that by narcissists and you've been hurt a lot, you start to look out for this. You start going, whoa, where's the pain coming from? And by focusing on it, you become a magnet and you attract yourself to them. Now, where I'm at in my life now, if someone bites my head off, I'm like, yeah, I'll never talk to that person again. Bye. And all of a sudden, I'm walking away from messed up people and meeting better people. I really just made a decision. I'm done trying to make people like me. If people don't like me, fuck them. So here I was at the Golden Gate Bridge yesterday, and I just kind of sat down on one of this wooden thing here, and I looked around and I thought, you know what? I'm going to look around to see who good people are. Maybe not empaths, but like just good people that have good energy, that are happy, that are smiling, that are peaceful, that are just kind people. And all of a sudden, I started to see all the good people that had good moods, good attitudes. They had a good vibe. They were happy. They were excited to be there. They're looking out over the expanse of the water and the Golden Gate Bridge, and they're like, wow. And then this one dude walks by. Now, here's the weird thing. He and I had no connection. I remember I stared right at him. Now, he was looking across from me. He wasn't looking at me, but he was walking in front of me and past me. And this guy had this macho, tough guy look. Look at me. Everything about him, from his haircut to his mustache, to his sunglasses, to his tank top, everything was macho. And I was like, wow, that's one toxic individual. I mean, you could just see that was a toxic individual. I started smiling ear from ear. I have graduated. I realized right then and there, in a million years, if that guy walked right up to me and tried to be my buddy and friend and, hey, let's talk, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not interested. I would either say, hey, man, I just want to be alone. And if that didn't work, I'd just get up and walk away. I don't want to see, before I'd like, well, I'm going to get this guy to like me. I'm going to get this person to be nice to me. Fuck that. I've completely changed. It's just like grabbing those pennies, nickels, quarters, and dimes and dollar bills. All of a sudden, my clients are hiring me. All of a sudden, people are walking in the door. All of a sudden, I'm making sales. Things just turn around. You get what you focus on, so focus on what you want. Picture it the way you want it. Say it the way you want it. Feel it the way you want it. And then imagine having it. I love receiving the Lord's blessings. I love receiving money. God gifts me. God blesses me. I enjoy the blessings of God. This is an awesome car. This is an awesome life. This is I am, I have. When you say someday, maybe, you're putting it out there. You don't want it out there. You want it in here right now. I am, this is, I have. Go outside and start looking for the good people. Look for people like this girl in the image. She's clearly happy with what she's doing. She's thrilled with what she does for a living. Look for good people. Look for people that are just peaceful and kind. When I was at the Golden Gate Bridge, there was this Indian family, not picking on Indians, but it could be any family. And two of the kids were just fighting for attention, and the mom was fighting for attention. It was, Rah! And it's funny, but everyone kind of looked over there because there's this little chaotic thing going on, and the rest of us were just peaceful and enjoying it. And I thought, wow, how obvious can you get? I kind of looked up at the sky, looked up at God, and I see it now. Like, what the hell was I thinking all those years? When you see chaos, you see toxicity, you see frustration and pain, get away from it. Look around, look for good. I thought, well, there's some people. I literally got up from that one wooden thing right there, and I went over, and there was a bunch of beautiful people, peaceful, happy. The vibe was better. I was like, oh, I like this much better. Get up, move. Go towards what you want. Write that down. Go towards what you want. Write that down. Go towards what you want. You know how I keep telling you everything comes down to this one thing? It really is. It's that void. Be in the void. Because what happens is you get caught up in the tip of the chaos. Get out of the chaos. Go into the peace. Everything comes down to the internal and external energy. That tip of the V I keep showing you, well, the tip of the V is external. The wide open is when you're going into yourself, when you're dropping down inside, and that opens the door. It's all about the internal and external energy, otherwise known as the yin and the yang. Internal is feminine, external is masculine. The yin is the feminine, the yang is the masculine. The yin is the internal, the yang is the external. This is life. Write this picture right here. This is it. This is everything from your cells. You breathe in, you breathe out. You receive communication in your ears and you speak out. Internal, external. Everything you do. Your blood pumps blood into your heart, and then the heart pumps the blood out to your body. Internal and external. Internal and external. There's a flow between these two energies. Once you understand this basic pattern of life, it applies to everything you do in life. Here's the most powerful, simple, it's the same thing right here. I'm going to say it. Go away from external, go away from bad, go towards internal good. Go away from bad, go towards good. That's it. This is why some people have happy relationships. This is why some people always seem to be successful. It is a very simple pattern that applies to everything in life, from sports, football, baseball, basketball, to science, to meditation, to spirituality, to God, the Bible. Every single thing we do in life, yin and yang, internal and external, masculine and feminine energy. Once you learn how to flow this energy, this will open you up to the next level. God bless you guys. This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Please click subscribe, click the like button, make a comment, and if you want to leave a donation, there's a PayPal link right there in the description box. See you guys in the next video. Bye.